Good evening, and so I wanted to talk in today about something it came up for me as I was watching my daughters this morning, and how this childhood innocence plays out, right? So free, and at the same time, I'm navigating this place where I'm letting go of this old world, this old construct of restriction and punishment for being free, basically. And I could see as I was watching them how this old world, it's already part of their being. It's not a conscious thing, but it's there by inheritance, I guess. And that's because of the life that I've lived, the life that their dad has lived, the life that my parents have lived, the life that my ex-husband, their dad's parents have lived. It's not just genetics. It's like energetic patterns, emotional maps, frequencies passed down through me, through my ex, their dad. The matrix quietly implants itself, unless we actually choose to rewrite that code. So I guess I realized as I was watching them, unless I show them something different, and this isn't about teaching them, this is about embodiment, unless they feel a different frequency embodied by me, right? Their nervous systems are just going to default to what is familiar to them through their body's memory, right? And what is shown to them by everything else in their world, these survival patterns, the fear, the shaming, the over responsibility. And I guess this is the conundrum of awakening, right? It's like having one foot in this world, one foot in the new world. We're trying to build this new world over here to match this frequency that we've lifted to, but we're still walking in the skeleton of the old one. I'm in this situation right now where I'm living, and I attracted this place through the frequency that I was in 18 months ago, less than that, a year ago, right? And I've shifted within months, I'd shifted so profoundly in frequency that we're no longer a match. We were no longer a match, but physical world, I've got to find the money to move a tiny house to a new location. And it's like this, like banging heads, banging against each other, because I am no longer in resonance with them and vice versa. And it's uncomfortable. And I guess that is why our healing journeys, our ascension journeys, more than healing, because I've come to this conclusion that we were never fucking broken in the first place, and we're not healing anything. We are just awakening to the truth of who we are. It's intense, because when you're shifting in frequency, and especially when you do what I talked about in yesterday's video, but have the Kundalini awakening, where everything ascends so much faster, you ascend so much faster. You're breaking cycles every single day that you never chose. You never chose them, but you can choose to transmute. So like I said, we've never been broken, but we were conditioned. And what we have to do is, and this is what the Kundalini is doing, it's burning away all that shit to come back to our original being, before the shame, before the hierarchy, before obedience was more important than your truth, right? We lived in unity. We were in harmony with nature. We were one with the divine. Sound, intention, love shaped reality. And love still does shape reality, right? When we can choose to love without conditions, our reality shifts to match that. And I understand that's why I'm shifting away from here. Obviously, law of attraction, action, blah, blah, blah. There are physical steps that we have to take. It's not just a case of an instant shift, but when you instantly shift, you're given the ways in which you're meant to move, the direction in which you're meant to walk. And this is where you can't have resistance. You can't default back to your excuses, your fear, your lack, you have to pick up the breadcrumbs and move in such deep trust that you're always being guided to not somewhere different, but somewhere more aligned to the truth of who you are. So I've always coined this the miracle frequency, right? The truth, when we come back to truth. And I believe it is how we manifest the fastest, the easiest, but it has to have this piece of no resistance. No resistance. Because it's a return to the truth of who you are, not the fantasies, the dreams, because often those are actually from our conditioning. I had that as well. The reason why I'm in a tiny house, I thought I wanted the $1 million income, the $1 million house, that lifestyle, but that actually was never my true vibration. My true vibration wants to live off grid, wants to live in rhythm with the seasons, in rhythm with the earth cycles. You know, I want to bring people to my land. I want to hold not even events, but immersions. You know, again, teach through embodiment, not through this way that we're taught. Actually give people a space to come back to their truth, to come back to their true vibration. Yes, share the tools, but so much of that wisdom is just in the earth, and we just don't create the space to listen. And I guess that's where in my last video I talked about how Kundalini doesn't bring truth, right? She reveals to you what your soul has already known, has always known. And that's the same with the miracle frequency, right? We don't achieve it, we remember it. But none of this will happen in resistance. And that resistance comes when we don't, I guess, bring consciousness, bring awareness to what we're carrying. You know, as my children grow up, I feel blessed that I have had the awakening that I have to embody something different to what they're being shown, what's in their programming, so that their Kundalini feels welcome to rise. Their bodies feel feel safe. You know, shame doesn't control their field so that their truth stays dormant. They feel able to fully express themselves, to fully live to stay in that fucking innocence, that childishness. Oh my gosh, that word, childish. Childishness is beautiful. It's beautiful. Innocence, playfulness, that wild trueness that I think we all have within, and I've certainly come back to. And this got me feeling in the last few weeks, you know, I'd been in this massive business pivot, right? Trying to bring my business into alignment with this person that I've found. But, you know, I guess I realized a little while ago that it's a whole life pivot. Even though my life has pivoted so much, my life has changed so much, I still need to bring it more into alignment with a rhythm that reflects what I'm really here to embody. As that Kundalini is burned through every single layer of untruth, it is revealing more of who I am. And so now, not only my work has to be a byproduct of who I truly am, everything in my life has to be a byproduct of who I truly am. So I guess my prayer, I'll call it my prayer, is that my children, they don't just hear these words, they actually feel this frequency. They grow up knowing that sovereignty is fucking normal, that they never have to exile any fucking part of themselves to be safe, and that we all get to remember that the blueprint is in our bones. It was always there, and it's only waiting for us to return. Hope this was helpful. And if anybody knows of a little place I can put a little tiny house, then let me know, because we moving, baby. We moving.